Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. So, it's a Magic the Gathering day. For this past Christmas, I received all 4 of the Warhammer decks. We've already looked at the Inquisitor Greyfax deck, and I want to sleeve up another. I've played with the Abaddon deck, but that deck didn't belong to me. I have it now. And over the snowy week, being snowed in at home when I'm filming this, I played with my Inquisitor Greyfax deck, and it was so fun. We looked at that a few weeks ago. But now I'm going to take a look at what is inside the Necron box. Now, I'm one of those people that when it comes to their collection, I'm real particular about how I keep stuff, keep it nice, keep it organized. And also, since I haven't done Magic the Gathering since I was a kid, I'm just getting back into it because I live in a nerdy family and Magic's huge here. It was good for me that they make decks that appeal to me. There's also a Lord of the Rings set, which I'm probably going to end up getting. My God, today. Make a Sailor Moon deck or an Adventure Time deck. Can we make that happen? Magic people, like, please? Anyway, this thing here. So my Inquisitor Greyfax deck was sleeved for me. It's 100 cards. So this is a commander deck, meaning there's basically a really good card that's in control. That's the commander. You can pull them out to do crazy stuff when you're able to summon them. And typically they have an ability to keep bringing them back out of your card graveyard if somebody destroys them. So that's like really handy. And your commander usually gives like some kind of extra cool ability amongst the cards. Like, real talk, Magic is not what it was when I was a teenager. Like, when I played this game growing up, I was like, this is not the same game. And I was feeling real like just dumb. I was like, is this the game I played when I was 15? I don't think this is the same game. It's not. They have evolved it a lot. There are so many crazy stackable and cascading rules now. Patience, my friend. Lucky for me, my husband is real patient in getting me back up on the rules. And I've gotten to the point that, like, I was legitimately winning. The other day, it wasn't that. Because the first couple of games we played, they gave it to me. But this time, I was like, oh, does this do this? So I'd ask him, I was like, hey, what does this card do? Does this do what I think it does? It did. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to do that. So it was a lot of fun. Highly recommend. But let's talk about this. So before we look at my Necron deck, this is really cool. So one of our local hobby shops, there's a local artist who makes these really cool boxes to hold card decks. It can be Magic the Gathering. I don't know if D&D has cards, but if it does, it'd be cool because it has a dice tray as well. You need dice for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and a whole bunch of other games. So if you have a card building deck game, if you have local artists that do this, like, totally support them. This was $30. Which I think is totally worth it because watch this. When you open it, look, watch the gears. Watch the gears. Let me do it from both sides. I don't want to break it. Isn't that great? And it raises the deck up. Is that not cool? And so here, this orange card, that is my actual commander. So you want that to be a different color sleeve than the rest of them. All of these have been double sleeved, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But the rest of the deck is in my favorite color, a shade of pink. Which for my 4 other decks, because this one was gifted to me like 8 months ago before I even knew that you could get 4 different Warhammer decks. So it gets a place of honor because this was like the first Magic the Gathering deck gifted to me. It was actually gifted to me by my stepson. And so if he's watching, thank you. And then there's this great little dice tray here. So what I've done is I've gotten card deck holders for each of my Magic the Gathering decks. The other ones, this one only holds a single set of cards, but the others hold doubles. I've got a pink one and a turquoise one. We'll look at those later. But I got dice to go in each of them. Each of them has a dice tray. So these, for my first Inquisitor Greyfax deck, these are color-changing dice with heat. So if they're cold, they're super color. When they get warm, they turn white, which that's kind of cool. So when you're playing, the dice will change. So you've got the multi-sided die. And these came in handy the other night because inside of, I don't know if it's the same with my Necron deck, I'll see in a minute, But I have the ability to make like replicants and stuff out of here. So I can make soldiers that can man vehicles and stuff like that. So I would have to use these as counters to let me know how many of those duplicate whatever that I had made and what their points were worth and stuff like that. And you can even use this to track your damage. So I can use this dice to track my commander damage. I can use them to track my point damage. Like it's really cool. So I really like having dice and stuff that match what I'm doing. So these live in here. A little ASMR there for you. And I love this box. The girl that makes them, since my favorite color is pink, I got a purple one for my sister-in-law because that's her favorite color. But I'm looking for a deck to put in there for her as a gift. But this one, I got it because it was the only other color she had. I'm going to ask her if she can make a pink one. You should have everything you love in your favorite color, shouldn't you? Yes, you should. But altogether, there is the Chaos deck, which the commander for that is Abaddon the Despoiler. Then we've got the Inquisitor Greyfax deck, which is an Imperial deck, obviously. And the Inquisitor Greyfax herself is the commander, and she's great. That was a wonderful deck. I got the Necron deck, and it looks like here from the front, I think Sarek, the Silent King, is our commander. And then there's also a Tyrannid deck. So I'll look at that one next time I look at these Magic of the Gathering cards. But they also have to be sleeved. Ooh. So when I got all of these for Christmas, my husband was kind enough to get me the full 4 set. My stepson made sure that I had sleeves because he sleeves all of his decks and he double sleeves them. What we mean by double sleeve is there is a clear inner sleeve and then there is a colored outer sleeve. So the card stays basically nice and pristine. They went out. I have such a good family. Like when your family like works for you, work for them. Like I just made them the best dinner, queso mac and cheese. So it's like hamburger with like, so it's super simple. Like I can cook, but simple food's good too. So it's like hamburger, rotel, onions, garlic, brown it up, taco seasoning, throw some queso in there, put it over pasta with some broccoli, and boom, that is one of his favorite meals. And I made that for them tonight. They work for me, I work for them. That's how this works. Yeah, nerd girls who do stuff exist. We're out there. Just, you know, bathe yourself and be nice, and you can have one too. But they were kind enough to get me 4 different colors of pink, which is great because pink is my favorite color. I'm about to get my hair done here in a week from when I'm filming this. I'm going to go from colored fro to braids. I'm doing like a black to blue to purple ombre, and it's going to be really good. I rarely do my hair in pink because it's hard to find a shade of pink for hair that's not bubblegummy. So I like pink. Bubblegum pink is rarely one I'll choose. Like my gaming headphones, they're bubblegum pink, but look at them, they're great. So, but one of these actually is bubblegum pink. So I've got these, but then I have all of these. So what I'll do is I will mix up. So like this is a really light deck. So I'll probably swap with this deck because the colors are, you know, good and opposite of each other. So they will each have one of each other's outer sleeves to be the commander. So they're really easy to pick out because you want to be able to pick your commander out because it lives to the side because you can pull them out at any time. You don't have to draw them randomly from the deck. And then these as well, like their colors are opposite enough that I can just swap a sleeve with them. So I really appreciate that. Like this one's orchid, so it's a purpley pink. It works. It fits within the color palette that I love. So little stuff like that is real fun. And I'm thinking for the Necrons, I want to go with the more dark magenta color to sleeve them. Because Necrons, they're dark. Why wouldn't you? So that, putting stuff back in the box. So let's open this Necron deck and look at it. Who doesn't love fun stuff? Now, as I open these, I mean, full disclosure, I'm not going to keep these boxes. I love a box. I do. But can't keep all the Magic the Gathering boxes. I'll run out of space in no time. That's why they're going to go in dedicated card boxes. But there are some fun things that come in here. So, ooh, tokens. I got tokens. These will go in the box with them with the dice. So, punch these out first. Look. Tokens. Oh, and since I have a duplicate Greyfax deck, if I accidentally threw those tokens away, I still have them. Ha! Look at God. But I got my little Necron tokens here. So we're going to set those to the side because those will go in the half of the box they belong in. So let's see what they gave us in this box. So the way the box is, look at this. You have to rip it up to get stuff out. There is no keeping this. So if you're like, oh, no, you can keep it. No, you can't. If you want to play, no, you can't. They made it so you have to tear it up or leave it in the box. There's no in between. So pulling this out. So just like with Inquisitor Greyfax, there is a little card box that you can put together. I ended up having to keep this because if I'm correct, there should be a Necron themed counter in here as well. And then all of those token creature cards, they don't fit in the other box. Well, at least my fancy box, my fancy little blue box I just sold you, I couldn't fit those token creatures in there. Maybe they will fit in my bigger boxes. We'll look at those in another video once I get everything sleeved and all 4 decks put together. But, oh, look at him. Oh, he's great. Oh, yes. So frightening. So imperious. Oh, yes. Oh, we love it. Oh, we love everything about it. So, if you didn't have a box unsleeved, you can fit every card in here. When you sleeve your deck, you need more space. Like, a lot more. I'll prove it to you. So, this box is for an unsleeved deck. And in here, I have a sleeved deck. I'm going to open it up. That's how much more space the sleeves add. So if you plan on sleeving, especially double sleeving, you will need to purchase boxes. Except for this one, the rest of them I got on Amazon. Pick a brand that you love. The other ones were not super expensive. So, I mean, well, it depends on your point of view of expensive. It's different for all of us. But I paid like, for those other 2 boxes, I think they were $20 each. And they each hold 2 and they have a dice drawer. So let's keep digging into our box of goodies. Let's see here. So here's my shiny, which that needs a sleeve of its own as well. Always sleeve the shiny. And some people don't play with them. Some people just collect the shinies. I think we're going to do a project with my stepson. We're going to, oh, you know what? That's not the actual card. That is a picture of the card that's in the box. That's not the card. I got bamboozled again. But we're going to do a project where we go just get random shinies from like the local card shop and like put them in a frame and then stick them on the wall. One of the hobby shops we go to did that and it looks real cool. Just like a nice homemade poster. Okay, they have got this just... I hope I'm not ripping something that matters. Okay, there we go. Got it. All right, this box is officially trash, and because I'm destroying the box, that I'm going to sleeve all of these tonight before I do anything else. Yeah, that is a picture of a card. That is not the card. Oh, there's more tokens in here. Well, good thing I didn't just throw the box away. There are 2 more tokens. Okay, I'm pretty sure I lost tokens with my original Inquisitor Greyfax box now. But I have another one, so I get to get them back. So, I mean, redemption arc. Oh, look at that. See? You can't, there's more down in here. Actually, I think this one I punched out. It's difficult. Ow! I'm gonna give myself a paper cut. I can't even show you what I'm doing here because it's so stupid. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's just a little mini version of the card, but that will also go in the tray for this box. Let me make sure there's nothing else to punch out in here because... I done made a mistake and didn't even know it. Okay, all right. I think we got it all. Yep, okay. Woo, done with the box. There's the actual card. All right, so Sarake, the Silent King. He is a legendary artifact creature. Of course he is. He's the commander. Oh, he's flying. Oh, flyers are great because most... opposing cards can't block them unless they have a flyer. Okay, so that's great. My will be done. Whenever Sarake, the Silent King, attacks, mill 3 cards. You may put an artifact creature card or vehicle card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. And search my deck and pull out artifacts and use them in. Oh, that's good. And he's a 3/4. The commanders are not always the most powerful. Oh, he takes a lot to summon. So this is it looks like this is a black deck. Meaning that's the color that's rimmed here, and that is the type of land that you need to pull. I bet this one is black and red. As far as mana is concerned, I don't know that because I've not opened it yet. I've never seen the Necron deck. So, undo, 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 undo. I will eventually need to get some clear sleeves for my token creature cards. So on the back here, it gives you a little card that tells you all the formats. That's great. So just for your edification. Other standard format uses 60 card decks made up of the most recently released Magic cards. Booster, player opens booster packs and takes turns picking cards from the boosters to build a 40 card deck. Commander, which we have, builds a 99 card deck around a creature, which is the commander. Yeah, so you have a beginning phase, untap, turn your cards upright, draw a card, main phase, play, only one per turn, cast creatures and other spells, and then combat, declare your attackers, your opponent declares blockers, combat damage is dealt, main phase, again, play a land, if you haven't already, cast creatures and other spells, and then in turn, go to the next person. So they give you a nice little instruction card. I never realized that was there. I wish I had sooner. The other thing that fell out here is, ooh, the poster. I look at the poster. So what we got here. Unfold, unfold. Is he great? Is he great? Oh, I'm ripping it. Oh, ooh, he was folded tight. Ooh, yes, he is great. He is great. Let's read about him. I hope I can do this. Sarke, the Silent King. Once the legend suggests, the Necrons were a flesh and blood race known as the Necrontyr. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. It was in the Necrontyr's darkest hour during the reign of Sarkat, the last of the Silent Kings, that the Catan came before the Necrotyr with an offer of aid. The legend speaks of ancient star gods being formed from the fundamental energies of the universe who offered Sarkat and his people all they had ever desired. The power and immortality. Oh. Sarke deliberated long, but in the end he accepted the offer. In doing so, he damned his entire race. Fragments of lore described what followed, the process of biotransference that placed the minds of the Necrotyr into living metal bodies and transformed them into the Necrons. Few beings in the galaxy possess the might, wisdom, and sweeping vision of Sarke, the last of the Silent Kings. During the nightmarish transition of biotransference, it was Sarke. Take a drink every time I say that. Don't do that, you'll get drunk. Drink responsibly. Who emerged with the most powerful and advanced of all bodies gifted to the newly fashioned Necrons. His mind remains more wholly his own than any amongst his people, for he was ever their ruler and did not endure the perils of the Great Sleep or subsequent revivification. The words they use in Warhammer. You want to get your kids' vocabulary up? Have them read Warhammer. Just, not all of them. Some of them are real scary. That had driven so many Necrons mad. For all this, Sarke suffers, as he has suffered ever since he realized the purgatory to which he consigned his people. Millennia have heaped upon millennia, and still the Silent King's guilt remains jagged and bitter within him, as once it was. The Silent King seeks nothing less than final atonement for the fate which he consigned his people, and none shall be permitted to stand in his way. There's also Imhotep, the Storm Lord. He is a Nemesor. Oh, no, this is his name. I lied. Nemesor Imhotep awoke on Madragora, the crown world of the Saltec dynasty, to discover a world in anarchy. The Pharaon had perished during the Great Sleep, and nobles had fallen into civil war. Horrified at the waste of resources, Imhotep quickly built an army of his own and crushed the pretenders. He was crowned the Pharaon of Saltec dynasty. Under his rule, the dynasty has expanded to encompass hundreds of worlds. Imhotep is a master strategist with logically constructed contingencies and counter strategies planned in meticulous detail. His flaw, however, is his egotistical need to demonstrate his dominance. Many times he has captured an enemy commander only to release them to spread the word of Imhotep's superiority. Well, if that ain't a indictment of modern times. So I love this because they give you an idea of how to play this army. Your primary commander is Sarketh, the Silent King. The secondary is Imhotep, the Stormlord. So you got 2 commanders in there. I need to go back and look. When I open my second Imperial deck, I wonder if Eisenhorn is actually the second commander, and I did not know. There's a good chance of that. I wonder who the other, because if there's a secondary commander that you can choose, you have 2. And I didn't get that far into it because I'm just remembering how to play Magic. But I love that they give you an idea of how to use your deck, because every deck's different. So the reason people get really good at Magic is they study their cards and they know, like, you know, when they get something like, oh, how they can instantly stack it and use it in certain ways. So with this one, the Necron dynasties endure eternally. These ancient beings forsook their fragile bodies of flesh millions of years ago, transferring their consciousness into mechanical forms of living meat that can rebuild from the most grievous damage. Well, the Mechanica must love them. Use this ability to wear down your opponent's resistance, outlasting them until they have exhausted all of their resources. Then crush them at your leisure. Many of the cards in this deck have an unearth ability. You can unearth creatures from your graveyard. Oh, to get one last attack and take advantage of powerful abilities that only work if the creature entered the battlefield from the graveyard. Finish off your opponents with huge creatures like Catan or with legions of Necron warrior tokens. Oh, so this is a deck where I can keep duplicating myself, and if one of my cards is destroyed, killed, I can keep bringing it back and it becomes more powerful. They're going to love that. And look, there is a little themed counter. I love that. It does it on both sides. It tracks battle damage and commander damage, so that's really cool. It's the little thing, so this will go in the deck box, but let's take a look at some of these cards. So the first cards are the token cards. I'm just going to inner sleeve these, meaning they'll have a clear sleeve, but we've got insects here, and then we also have Necron warriors as token artifact creatures. So if you have vehicles or something, or you pull a card and it can like start making tokens, like basically you have more dudes on the field because it has the ability to replicate, and that's when I use the dice, set them on top to tell me how many of those creatures I've summoned. So we got the insects and then the Necron warrior. These also show up in the Space Marine game. So that Space Marine game, the Labyrinth, these are who we're fighting and some others. So all insects and Necron warrior. So you flip them over for which one you're using. There's only a few of these. That's why you need dice to use your counters. Because you make 30 of these guys, you don't have 30 cards. But the dice counter will tell you how many you're using at a time. So let's take a look at the deck. So first thing I got to do is separate my actual... Okay. Oh, they're both shinies. So these are the cards for my commanders. Ooh, aren't they beautiful? They are beautiful. What we read what the Silent King does. What does the Stormlord do? Whenever one or more artifact cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 Black Necron warrior artifact creature, which is great because those creatures can be destroyed before the actual card that they're stacked on gets destroyed. So it literally protects whatever creature you put out, and it gives you more attack power. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target artifact creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains menace until the end of turn. Ooh. Oh, they not gonna like these. We're gonna play these tomorrow. All right, so these are my commanders. I'm gonna set them to the side so I don't lose them in the rest of the deck. We can't go through the whole deck because my god today. But let's see what we got. So here's an artifact creature called the Flayed One. Oh, and he's flayed. Oh, he's scary looking. Oh, I love it. He's an artifact Necron. He only costs 3 to cast. Lifelink Flesh Flayer. When Flayed One enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Okay. So a lot of these first ones are artifact creatures. They got them in order. Let's see if I can find a cool artifact. Oh, this artifact looks interesting. He looks interesting. So it doesn't matter if I get these out of order now because they're going to be shuffled anyway. But this one is colorless. Sacrifice a Hedron Archive, draw 2 cards. Look at the art. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's gorgeous. I love everything about it. Let's see here. Let's look at our... ooh, look at these lands. I was right. I was right about the other color. Look at that. We got beautiful red lands going. So this is a red, black deck. Yeah, red, black. and the clear, the no color. So all very beautiful. So let's get out of the artifacts and look at some other, ooh, the enchantment. So here's a cool enchantment. Creatures you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you lose 1 life and create a 2/2 Black Necron Warrior artifact. So you got to play with your life counters there. But Necrons are creatures that come back. So I imagine that there's ways to get your life back in here. Let's see. Oh, he looks cool. Artifact creature Necron Wizard. Look at this guy. Oh, he's awful looking. I love it. So he doesn't cost a lot. He's only a 1/1. He's not super powerful, but he looks cool. So he's flying, so he makes a good guard. A lot of people can't block flying unless they have flyers. Atomic Transmutation, sacrifice another artifact, draw a card. Okay, so if I have a cheap artifact out there that I don't care much about, I can get rid of it and draw something and maybe get something better. Unearth, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Oh, exile at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, unearth only as a sorcery. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, yes. Oh, here's a more powerful one. So this guy costs 4 to summon. Artifact creature, the Necron Wizard. There's a cosplay. I wonder if I'll get good enough at sewing to make something like that. Probably not, but I'll try. I mean, it's a long life. I mean, you should do things you enjoy, right? You know, build your cosplay, build your decks, collect Sailor Moon, do whatever makes you happy. I'm all for it. Let's see. Choose another target artifact creature you control. When that creature dies this turn, return it to the battlefield tapped under your control. Oh my god, there's a bunch of resurrection cards here. So they're going to start killing my dudes. But my dudes just come back. Better. Well, that's great. Oh, he's great looking. Illuminor Seras. Look at him. I love the multiple legs. I mean, the Mechanicum and the Necron, I feel like they're kindred spirits. Although the Mechanicum worships the machine god, so their source of technology is different than the Necrons. The Necrons are cursed. The Mechanicum are devotees. But still, ultimately the same results. Legendary artifact creature, Necron, Secrets of the Soul, sacrifice another creature. Add an amount of mana equal to the sacrifice creature's mana value. So if I sacrifice like a 5 mana dude, I can add 5 mana. So if I didn't have enough mana, that's awesome. Oh, these are great. What's another cool looking one? Oh, he looks terrible. Artifact creature, the Necron Noble, Necron Overlord. Look at him, isn't he great? I like this guy. That's a good cosplay too. Artifact creature, Relentless March. Tap X mana. Of untapped artifacts you control, target opponent loses X life. Oh, I mean, he's a 2/5. You don't want him. You don't want him. Ooh, Out of the Tombs, an enchantment. Oh, he's great. So at the beginning of your upkeep, put 2 Eon counters on Out of the Tombs, then mill cards equal to the number of Eon counters on it. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, instead return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If you can't, you lose. Well, we ain't gonna play him. Oh, wow, they are all just amazingly mesmerizing. I mean, look at this. So here's a vehicle. Cool, I stumbled on a vehicle. So with those tokens I created, the token creature, I can use a token creature to man this vehicle. And so now I get the abilities of the vehicle. This one's a 3/3 and it's flying. I got a lot of flyers in here, so that's great. A repair barge, whenever Ghost Arc becomes crewed, each artifact creature card in your graveyard gains Unearth 3 until end of turn. It needs a crew of 2, so I need 2 of those token dudes or 2 of my other creatures to man this. Use your tokens for that. It's smarter. Tap any number of creatures you control with a total of 2 power or more. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until the end of your turn. And they just go on and on like that. Like, look at this artwork. Look at this. And I think that's part of the reason Magic the Gathering has such a loyal following, especially if they make cards in a property outside of Magic. The Magic, of course, has its own created worlds, but when they start doing stuff that marries to other properties, it gets new players in. That is so smart. I can't be mad at them. These are a bunch of lands back here. Oh, there's a lot of land in this deck. Whole bunch of swamp. Oh, and there's my shiny I was looking for. Oh, he's pretty. That is okay. Legendary artifact creature. My will be done. Yes, yes it will. He is beautiful. I'm going to stack him with the other commanders. But now the big task I have today and tomorrow, more likely tomorrow, is to sleeve these guys up. Because now that they're out of the box, I don't want them to get messed up. So let's look at the sleeves. So first and foremost is inner sleeves. So these are my outers. So what I'm going to go ahead and do with my outer sleeves, since I have 3 cards to protect in each that will be commanders, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 out of this one, out of my light pink box. I'm going to lay those on top of my commander cards. And then in my magenta box, I'm going to grab 1, 2, 3 of these and put them in my light pink box. And so now the next deck that I do that has that I need to sleeve, it will already have sleeves for the commander so that they stand out. It makes them easier to find, because your commander doesn't live in the deck. Your commander you can pull out at any time once you have the mana. That's why it's a different color. But then there's the sleeving. So we got outer sleeves, inner sleeves. The inner sleeves are clear. I was told last time I tried to do this, I did it wrong. I mean, I got a real serious magic household here, so you want to get it right. So slide these out. I think tomorrow I'm going to film a longer gaming video. I'm getting better at it. But I think I'm going to do Neverwinter Nights because I just feel like playing Neverwinter Nights all of a sudden. So what I want to do is slide this guy. And this is why it takes so long. He goes into an inner sleeve. There. And then there is a clear side and a not clear side. You want to make sure... I want this edge that's closed facing out so that that double protects the card. Everyone doesn't do this. It just depends on how much the cards matter to you. I'm not doing this because these cards are particularly valuable. They were a gift. And these are going to be the cards I play with over and over, so I don't want them to get destroyed. And there we go. Now, he's protected. That was 1. And we have to do it again. I'm going to go ahead, actually, and just sleeve my commanders because they're too beautiful to leave unprotected. So, the shiny first. The shiny barely fits. Barely. And then we're going to slide it into the light pink. Uh-oh, where's the opening? Ah! Oh, come on, cards. There we go. Okay. I was about to get sad there for a second. What's really funny is because Magic's such a big deal in this house, they made sure to get me really good sleeves. I don't know if they're good or not. I'm going to take the expert's word for it. Ask me about other things. So now my shiny is perfectly protected. So now you can see this one against this one. So when I am going to get my commander out of this deck, they stand out perfectly. And even if all the cards were together and they got mixed in somehow, I can easily pick this out of the rest of the cards. So we are going to go ahead and sleeve the commanders because they are the most important cards in the deck. I don't want anything happening to them, but I think what I'm going to do tomorrow, because it's my husband's birthday this weekend that I'm filming, I'm going to make nice breakfast in the morning. I'm making Baby Yoda shaped waffles and pancakes because I'm extra, and do like a little black sausage and eggs, that kind of thing in the morning. I think after I do all that, before I get to playing video games in the afternoon, because we're snowed in right now when I'm filming. Well, we're not snowed in, we're iced in. Let me be specific there. So the whole city shut down, like everything we were going to do this weekend, can't do it. Because everywhere emailed and was like, we're not having a thing. We'll refund your money. So I might as well sleeve cards this weekend. So I'll sleeve a deck this weekend. Why not? Just one, though. I'm not doing 4 decks in one weekend. 1, content. And then 2, no, there's a limit. But if I sleeve this weekend, maybe tomorrow evening when we do game time, which we will, I can use these guys. So I'll slide them in there. And now protected. Great. That is 4 out of 100. I might actually just sit here for the next 30 minutes and go ahead and get this done since I started. That way when we want to play tomorrow, it's already done. Nobody's going to bed early tonight because we don't have anything to get up and do tomorrow except eat food. I went out and stocked up so I could do, fun stuff. yeah, when you got nerds in your life, find those little ways to inject nerdiness into like everyday stuff. So one of my friends for Christmas, she knows what a dork I am, and I love Baby Yoda. I don't care what they named him in the show; he's Baby Yoda forever. She got me a little frying pan that is shaped like Baby Yoda, so it's a pancake pan. And then over Christmas, we found at the Hobby Lobby, we found a little Baby Yoda shaped waffle maker. So I'm making Baby Yoda pancakes. I mean, it's simple. But little stuff like that goes a long way. Especially if you don't know what to get the nerd in your house, make them nerdy food. Who doesn't love food? I mean, I'm sure there are people who do. And you know what? I don't need that negativity in my life. So this is a cool deck. I'm excited to play with this deck. So I'll let you know how it goes. I mean, old girl, she did the thing. All right, my Inquisitor Greyfax, she did the thing. So I'm counting on my Necrons to be equally as great. But I'm gonna sit here and watch some YouTube, and then sleeve my cards. And then yeah, that'll be it. So as usual, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.